Jesus is insisting in today's gospel that we all need to learn with chief priests that the purpose of worship is the opening of our hearts to one another in such a way that it invites others to join us. He sees the sacrificial worship in the temple as an opportunity for every Israelite, of course, to know God better, to take part in the blessings that come from God, and also to reconcile with other Israelites. That's why he tells that parable that says, if you're on the way to the temple, about to offer a gift, and remember that your brother has something against you, go be reconciled to your brother first, and then offer the gift. Why? Because that's what sacrifice truly is. It's a place where you realize the commandment of God to love God and to love your neighbor. Those two kinds of love are exactly complementary. You don't actually love God unless you have the capacity to love your neighbor, and vice versa. That was an inherent part of Jesus' wisdom. And it meant that in his prophetic perspective, the temple was a place where everything that went on, the sacrifices, the song, the choreography of worship, the lights, were all designed in order to realize how it is that our lives are fulfilled by love of God and love of neighbor. Jesus believes so forcefully in this understanding of worship that he was willing with his followers in that famous scene, which we will remember during Holy Week, to enter into the great court of the temple and very visibly to show the high priests that it was not their property by overturning the tables they had authorized for the vending of merchandise. He acts in that way not simply to be destructive of what is wrong, but more importantly, to speak prophetically of what is right, of how it is that everyone needs to overcome the sense of ownership in order to enter into fellowship. Later, after that great occupation of the temple, realizing that his own way of worship was for the moment not going to be observed in the temple, meeting with his own disciples as part of their regular fellowship, he told them, this bread that we eat, this is my flesh. And this wine that we drink, this is my blood. That is a statement which, of course, has many levels of meaning. But for his disciples, the most striking level of meaning at the time was that Jesus was saying to them, whenever you break this bread and share this cup, God sees that as being the equivalent of sacrifice in the temple. You are realizing the prophecy that the temple will be a house of prayer for all nations. Our Eucharist is, among other things, as this time of the year reminds us, a realization of Jesus' prophecy that even those not of Israel, and I might say in the present company, even those mostly not of Israel, nonetheless join in the recognition of God in worship and are transformed by that reality. Now to God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, be ascribed as is most justly due, all might, majesty, dominion, and power, this day and
forevermore.